morning. I'm Kay Reverol. If you're new here, if you're not, welcome back. I am a Bahamian trader and I do a little bit of lifestyle here and there, but if you are on your journey of trading and trying to become profitable, you came to the right place. Okay, so I'm on my way to work right now, but y'all, yesterday I dropped my phone in water. Like, that sucks. That sucks. I dropped my phone in water. Thankfully, I have this backup phone. But outside of that, I did trade yesterday. I took 2 trades yesterday, which I shouldn't have done because my rules are if I win the first trade, I don't get back in for another one. But yeah, I feel like I watched that entire movement play out without me, and I just finally got in at some point. So that's what happened. I think I was confident about 60% of that trade. Because of my parameters, I didn't really follow my risk and my entry parameter, because initially I would have been risking more than what I wanted to risk, and I wasn't in for that. So I waited until price got a little bit lower. To be honest with you, I didn't even really calculate the risk before I got into that trade. And so even though I won, I'd prefer to call that like a false trade, because again, I did not follow my process or my plan. So that was that. And then I took a little trade after that, because y'all, I kid you not, when that trade was up to like $1,400, I exited out of it, but because of the volume in the market, it had already pushed back up, so it came out at around $900 and some dollars. And I think I got back into that trade a little bit later than that, probably around an hour or two later than that. And I only caught 1 pip off of that. If I had held that trade, I could have made another $500, but I didn't. So we do better every day. I'm gracious though to myself that I was patient, and that most of my plan I stuck with. Yeah, so that's what I'm telling myself today. I don't want to beat myself up, but yeah, we'll see if any opportunities present itself today. I think we'll sit on our hands. Well, I'll sit on my hands today, and then we'll just wait for Friday and see what happens there. I think there's some news coming out on Friday though, so we'll be cautious of that. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do about this phone situation, because I have a lot of my chats and stuff like that for like these different events and stuff that we have coming up next week. So I gotta be able to communicate with people, and I gotta really do it through my laptop. I'm not gonna let it frustrate me though. I'm not gonna let it frustrate me. I'm gonna go into work today. We're gonna do what we have to do, and I get things done. So yeah, I guess I'll check back in with you guys, or check back in with you either at work or when I'm done with work. So okay, so I am home now, and as you can see, my tongue is blue. Yes, I stopped and got myself a slushie today. Let me know what y'all call this. It's a little slushie. And I got me a hot patty because y'all, my phone is down, and it's like I feel so lost. But life goes on, right? We really had a really tragic day here in the country, but honestly, I'm just so grateful to God for life and safety and security and everything else. But I did trade today, and I just want to go over my trade for today. Now, I ended the day in a loss. We actually lost all the profits that we made yesterday, And it's okay because I'm trading this account a little bit different than I would have the rest of my accounts in the past, because I want to try something. So essentially we are looking at an uptrend. When I came to the markets, we were looking at an uptrend. We had a demand zone that was really down here. Price never really went back to it, so I didn't mind it. This other demand zone that price came into, I was a little iffy about it because I wasn't sure if, well, actually, let me say I wasn't sure. I missed the entry. For this one. So the entry really would have been off of this candle here, which I think would have been beyond my parameters for my risk. That would have been a 7.4 stop loss, and we would have been looking for a 1 to 2, and it would have hit our 1 to 2, but again, I would not have risked that 7 points from my trade. And so after that, we had this demand zone set up here. Then price come back and retest that zone, and I got in on this. I think the first time risking 4.5. Yeah, I think I risked 4.5. Either way, at the end of the day, we lost $1,076.48. Because I also re-entered this trade even after it hit my stop loss, and I was okay with it because at this point I'm realizing, like, I traded my process, and that's what's most important. Whether I win or lose, that's what's important. I'm working on my breathing. When I notice that my heart rate is a little bit elevated when I'm trading, I try to calm my breathing down and stuff like that. So that's what we did today. Now on my second account, price was in a downtrend after that, and we saw this supply zone come here. Now price was literally off this 1 to 2 by how many points? 1.3 points before it reversed. So I came out at break even basically, and so we just ended that day in a $46 profit, and I just charged it to the game. So that was my trade for the day, but I pat myself on the back. I think that's why I bought myself this little slushy too, because you have to reward yourself even when your process doesn't plan out the way that you expected it to. The point is that you followed the process, and that's what's important. So I actually want to talk about yesterday's trade, because although we ended the day in profit, $1,000 in profit yesterday, I did not follow my rules yesterday. So I want to go over what I was seeing in the market yesterday. And so essentially, price was in a downtrend, right? And so I'm looking for supply zone opportunities. Now, a few supply zones presented itself, and y'all, I felt like I literally watched this entire move right here. Literally from like right here, from right here to here, I watched that entire move play out, and I'm like, yo, how did I miss that, like right in the front of my face? So we had this supply zone up here and this one here, and for some reason, I think I remember why. So this one came here and it retested the zone and rejected off of it, and I was supposed to get in right here. As you can see, this is 4.9 points as my risk. My take profit would be 9.8 points, and so for me that was within my parameters, right? Y'all, I didn't get in because this thing pushed down so fast, and I didn't want to get in any later because that means I would have to risk more, and I'm not sure how far price is gonna go. Now, after that, price again created another supply zone but never retested it. Created another one, and it took a little while before I retested it, but price created this supply zone right here again, and I was like, man, I can get in on this supply zone here. Now this was what my trade was supposed to look like. 9.4 points, which is crazy, to make 18 points, right? I actually got in around here on this candle here. I got in like around here. I didn't have a stop loss, but when I saw price get to like $1,400, I came out. But because of the volume in the market, I got out at $900 and some, right? And so for me, even though that was a winning trade, it wasn't following my plan. It wasn't following my process because my risk was too big for what I was supposed to be risking, and I didn't put in a stop loss. So in the event this trade had just switched on me before I was able to get out of it, you know, I would have been down a lot, and I would have been disappointed because I didn't follow my plan. So although I made that $900 in literally 1 minute, like 1 minute, as you can see right here, like 1 minute, I got in on this candle right here. I got in right here. Let me open it up on my right so you can see. I got in at 41.10. So 21. So this is where I got in on this candle, and I got out right here. That was barely a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Don't do what I did. Okay? Follow your plan, follow your risk, and let price play out the way that it does. If it doesn't go your way, at least you know that you follow your plan, and you could make note of that. You could journal that, so that when it's next time to do it, you know there's a possibility that price is not going to hit your stop loss. But if it does hit your stop loss, at least you know, well, you know, I'm okay with risking X amount of money. So take heed to what I did. Like I said, today I lost basically all the profits that I made yesterday, but I'm okay with that. Like it's not affecting me in any way because I know I followed my plan. And so I want you all to follow your plan, so you know we could do these things right, and we could be profitable, and by the end of the year we could say that we 6-figure funded and be consistently profitable and getting payouts, you know, that we could make what we make in a month in a span of literally 2 weeks. And that's on period. Because like I say, if I did it before, I know I could do it again. Like, yo, I don't think I can ever get over that, and that will always be for me like my motivation. 3 days it took me to make what I make in a month. I was able to make it in 3 days, and after 6 days I was able to take a payout of half of that. Hello? If that don't speak to you, I don't know what does. So follow your plan. First of all, create your plan, follow your plan, and just do it. Just do it. And that's on period. So I'll see y'all later.